Hello, cats and kittens. Orewa Jose Yoroshiko. I'm back in the crisis corner, and I just want to give my quick impressions. What I hope to be a quick video on my impressions on what we should expect to see in February, on February the 14th, 2025, when Captain America Brave New World drops. Now, these impressions are based on the teaser and the official trailer. I took some notes, just my general impressions of what I think is going to happen or whether I think this is going to be a viable product. So let's start with the plot. The plot, as noted, is following the election of Thaddeus Ross as President of the United States, Sam Wilson finds himself at the center of an international incident and must work to stop the true masterminds behind it. So we're going back to the political thriller, and it's been stated in the little press interviews and various on various media that they wanted to do a grounded political action thriller. Kind of sounds like Civil War. Let's see. Bullet points that I took from the trailer. Point one, Thaddeus Ross wants Captain America to be an official military title. He's in the trailer, he tells that to Sam, and Sam seems reluctant, basically because of the same reasons that Steve Rogers was reluctant, as we saw in Civil War. What if I feel I have to go somewhere that you don't want me to go, or I don't want to go someplace that you want me to go? You know, he loses some level of anonymity, autonomy as a hero. So he seems reluctant in that regard. Bullet point two, Isaiah Bradley is given, it seems that he's given the Manchurian candidate treatment. We know that he was experimented on for like 30 something years while he was in prison. So apparently he was given the Manchurian candidate type treatment and is triggered to make an assassination attempt on President Ross. Now, interestingly, in this assassination attempt, there is spoken of as being possible multiple shooters involved, which takes this from being a lone nut type situation to a Dealey Plaza type situation, which is fine with me because I'm all about conspiracies anyway. Bullet point three, Sidewinder. As we know in the comics, who is the king of the Serpent Society is involved in the movie, and he appears to be linked to the conspiracy in some kind of way, played by the great Giancarlo Esposito. That's a good draw. Hopefully he'll do a good job. Bullet point four, Thaddeus Ross, ever paranoid. In my speculation is that he's, a parent. He was obsessed with the Hulk. He's likely paranoid, and for that reason, I think he injected himself with the Hulk serum that turns him into the Red Hulk. We know the Red Hulk's in the movie. That's quite obvious from the trailer. And it's quite obvious, well, from the comics, we know that Thaddeus Ross is the Red Hulk. And we assume that that's going to be the case here. And we also know that he's going to appear in the Thunderbolts after this. So Thunderbolt Ross, Red Hulk is Thunderbolt Ross. So there's that. Also, Sam Wilson is Captain America, and he has, as we've seen, apparently, I believe, was in Captain America and what was it? Falcon and the Winter Soldier. He had a sidekick named Joaquin Torres or something to that effect, and he's going to be Falcon to his Captain America. So essentially, we're going to have two Falcons, except for one's going to have a shield and the other one will not. That strikes me as kind of redundant. I think Falcon and the Winter Soldier worked better where you had Falcon in the air, Bucky on the ground. If you could just reverse that and have a ground-based agent working with Falcon Cap, that probably would give you a little bit better type balance. But you got two, basically, in my mind, you got two Falcons, just one of them has a shield. There's that. Another point, we have Ruth Batseraph, who is actually Sabre, but they're not using Sabre's name for political reasons. And she's in the movie as an Israeli former Black Widow who is a high ranking government official closely linked to President Ross. Now, the inclusion of Sabre, or whatever she's supposed to be, has been a hot button issue on many levels. People on either side of the Israel Hamas war are taking shots at this, and it's really a contested issue, but it's something that they wanted to do, so they're doing it. So there's that. You make your own decisions on that. Now, an interesting point in that regard is apparently in the movie, she was going to introduce herself as a mutant originally, which she is in the comics. Sabre is a mutant, but they scrapped that, and she's just going to be a powerless Black Widow agent. Well, I think that's going to be, you're just reproducing Black Widow, basically, which again is making this extremely close to Winter Soldier. I would have went a different way with it, but that's what it is. Betty Ross and Samuel Stearns, the leader, are reprising their roles from 2008 Incredible Hulk, which makes sense. If you're going to have Thunderbolt Ross in here, might as well bring back his daughter. If you're going to do that, you might as well bring back the leader. The cost of this film has ballooned, depending on who you ask, has ballooned from anywhere between $300 to $400 million, which is insane for a grounded spy thriller. I have to go back and check and see how much Winter Soldier cost, but I'm pretty sure it didn't cost 300 to $400 million. Probably not 200 something likely, but this is getting ridiculous. And again, depending on who you ask, there have been upwards to 3 to 4 reshoots starting from January to May 2024, May to August 2024. And by some reports, there's been reshoots going on currently in progress. And the rumors are all out there, but there seem to be many reshoots going on, which has driven the cost of the film overall up. Now, the plot, as I stated, seems overly familiar with Winter Soldier. And another point is that we don't know if they're going to bring Adamantium in, but there are reports that they're going to address Tiamat from the Eternals sticking up out of the ocean like a sore thumb. I forget it's the North or the South Pole, somewhere around there, just sticking up out of the ocean. They're finally going to address that. That is way too late. Way too late. They should have brought that in. That in whatever media, whether they were doing Disney Plus shows or doing movies, that should have been addressed and addressed hard immediately. That should have been, a issue on some level. But I don't recall it really being brought up outside of a couple of gags. So there's that. And another problem is that the overall buzz around the MCU is very low. There's not a lot of interest, and this is supposed to be some a movie that kicks up the interest in Phase Five. It has to. If it doesn't, then you're really up. You're up the creek. If this doesn't work, if this doesn't hit, if it bombs, they're in really, really, really deep water. And I don't know how they work around that. So there are some problems. Another problem that just hit me in terms of Sabra not being depowered. One of the big draws, well, first of all, I don't think that Cap versus Red Hulk is actually as big a thing as the promotionals are making it out to be. I think that's going to be like a quick skirmish of some sort. But even at that, the only way Sam Wilson has a shot against Red Hulk is if Sabra had her powers from the comics, which allow her to enhance uh, others. She can enhance other people, raise up their strength level or whatever, or imbue them with her life force or something to that effect, to the point where they become basically superhuman to some degree. A super soldier, just Cap, let's say Cap, regular Cap, uh, Steve Rogers fighting a Hulk, Red Hulk, for instance. He, it's a long shot, but at least he's in the ballpark to the point where you could say he wouldn't die and immediately, or he might be able to weasel his way into some type of situation where he can meet the win con and come out with a W. Cap, Falcon Cap, Sam has no super soldier serum, which you still can't explain to me how he throws that shield around with any type of velocity to the point where he can hurt anybody, let alone get it to ricochet and come back to him. And we do see him using his Red Wings as he's confronting Ross. They're over his shoulder on the left and the right. That's cool. So he has some level of backup, but outside of that, he's got no shot. I mean, the shield can protect him from blows, I guess. They absorb vibranium, I believe, absorbs impact so that he wouldn't feel the full blunt of a punch. But outside of that, man, he's got no shot against Rado. But they'll have to contrive some kind of way that he can survive that fight. But I still don't think that that's going to be as major in a plot point as they're making it out to be in the promotions. So overall, it seems like a rehash of Winter Soldier. There's too many Winter Soldier, stand-ins, be it Isaiah Bradley standing in for Bucky, or Sabra standing in for Widow, or Serpent Society standing in for Hydra. It seems like it's the same thing. Could it work? Yes, it could. It's possible. Um, it is possible. Rat burgers with onions and cheese could taste delicious. I just tend to doubt it. That's me. I'm gonna check it out. I mean, there's nothing else, superhero related coming out in February, so I'll check it out one way or the other. I don't know if I'll see it right early in the theaters. Probably not, but I'll check it out. I got nothing to lose, and I'm a fan of the Marvel properties, so I'll check it out one way or the other. But I tend to think with a lot of what's been reported, it's got a lot of strikes going against it, and it probably is in trouble. So at this point, I'm down to I put it like this: I don't expect anything from Thunderbolts, so I would be I can't be disappointed by the Thunderbolts. I can terribly be disappointed if they mess up Fantastic Four. I might start some kind of a riot or something if they mess up Fantastic Four again. But I'm trying to be optimistic about that one too. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna probably cut a video on my impressions. There's not a lot to go on. If they drop some kind of trailer, I might try to do a video on that. But just based on what we've seen so far, I would say that this movie has enough red flags to make me think that it's probably not going to work. They keep doing test screenings, and the test screenings, according to reports, keep coming back negative. So they reshoot and they do another test screening, and then that comes back negative, and then they reshoot again. You can only put so much lipstick on a pig, man. If it sucks, it sucks. Just bite the bullet, throw it out there, or shelve it, give it the background treatment, and don't let it come out. Just can it and keep on going. But they can't do that. They're too invested in keeping these phases alive. You know, you could do a hard reboot, but that that requires a level of courage that I don't believe they have. So we'll keep this thing going as long as it can, and eventually money is going to talk. And if people don't go and see these films, they're going to have to do a hard reboot of some sort. There's no way around it. Anyway, let me know what you think about the trailers. Have you enjoyed them? Do you think that they bode well for what we're going to see in February? Either way, I'm going to be there. You know, train wrecks are interesting. So that's all I got from the Crisis Corner. Let me know what you think in the comments. Until next time, stay loose.